Let's talk about React. First coding challenge ever. So, what we got today? Whoa. Yes. So, that proves few things, right? That proves few things. First of all, elegance is clearly not correctly calculated. Yeah? Clearly. This is why we are testing the new training environment. Apart from the elegance, even though I respect the elegance is not correctly calculated, at least the rules are the same for everybody, right? You know, if you like motorsports, or even football or any sport, some players complain, oh, it's raining. Yeah, it rains, which is bad, but it rains for everybody, right? So rules are, even if they are not fair, they are the same for everybody. This is a good example, yeah? Apart from that, we can barely see on the right-hand side that the speed wasn't great on the fourth question. Yeah, fourth question, out of coincidence, was a bit more complicated because it wasn't about just rendering, it was about passing props. Yeah? Even though I didn't say anything yesterday night, we did a new training on React props. So we got render plus props. Cool, so we got some interesting results. We'll see who is the winner, and then effectively we'll review the challenge. So, first React challenge ever, 1st of March, starting from the bottom. Dave?
Yeah, I found it very difficult. I didn't expect it. I didn't quite get the way it's testing it.
Yep.
So, yeah, definitely something I have to work on.
Cool. Thank you, Dave. Top 10. Michael?
So again,
Yeah.
totally.
And now at least you can train, right?
But I must say the React documentation
Yep.
easy to read.
Yep. Yeah, I agree on that. However, we'll be adding videos at some point. This is one of the things that, you know. Cool. Thank you, guys.
Sorry, can I stop there? I can't see how I could be different from Dave.
You can see why you got different from Dave.
How could I be ranked above Dave?
No, I mean, if it's 0, it's the same score, right? So, yeah. Just out of coincidence. Bala, if you can hear us, I hope you can connect to YouTube, because as I mentioned before, we are streaming the results. So, top 9. Who is on top 9 today, guys? Awesome points for Ashley. Nice. 2 questions. Is the first person ever getting score in the React challenge? Well done, Ashley. How was it, Ashley?
It was good. It was easy, but I need to train. I didn't look
It was the first time doing training. Cool. Thank you, mates. Top 8 goes to Natasha, 36. Well done, Natasha. Any feedback? No? Interesting. Cool. Perfect. Then top 6, thank you, Natasha, goes to Mr. Jaff, 43. 3 questions out of 5. How you found it, Jaff? Any feedback?
Yeah, it's good. I haven't done any training.
Yep.
So, yeah, it works.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Jeff. Then we got Megan, top 6. 46 points. Not sure if Megan is connected at all. I was joking. It was just to say you were paying attention. Hello, Megan. How are you today? Any feedback at all about the challenge? Yeah. All right. Cool. 3 questions for Megan today. Top 5. Who is left? We got Poppy, Rafa, Daniel, Mo, and Bala. Yeah. Let's have a look. Rafa, 54, well done. It's pretty much perfect, right? Because the elegance issue, it wasn't your issue, right? So, virtually speaking, perfect. How was it?
It was really nice. I haven't done any training.
Really?
No, I haven't. So I got the things that I remember from the projects.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's good.
So I
Yeah.
haven't trained, so now I feel like motivated to do the training. on
Correct.
it.
Yep.
I really like the challenge.
Nice.
I think this React training and challenge is going to be really good for us.
Yep. Cool.
It's going to be a really nice tool for keep
Cool. Yeah.
working on that.
Fresh. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you, Rafa. Top 4. Daniel, 64. 4 questions. Any feedback, Daniel?
Yes, to be honest, it's really good.
Okay.
Challenge. It's not so easy, but it's not so hard.
Right.
But
Cool.
I'm happy.
Thank you, Daniel. Well done. So now on the podium, Balamon, Poppy. Poppy was very close to win the expert challenge yesterday. Very close. So, did it happen today or not? We'll see. Top 3 goes to Bala, 83. Nice. Any feedback, Bala? Right, I'm not even sure if Bala can hear us, or I'm mute again, right? So let me. No, now the audio is okay. Bala, not sure if you're trying to speak, but you are mute. If you want to share any feedback about the challenge, I'm sure he can hear us. Well, anyway.
Did you say that elegance isn't an issue? Because
The elegance is not correctly calculated, clearly. Yeah. It's still, work in progress, yeah? But hopefully it will be fixed next week. Right, so now, again, Poppy versus Mo. Mo versus Poppy, yeah? So, first victory ever on React. Top 2 goes to... is Poppy. Oh, Poppy. That was good, 87, right? Almost perfect. I would like to do something. Poppy was very close to win yesterday. She was probably very close to win today. I would like to invite Poppy here on the stage to share some words with the audience, right? Yes. You can hopefully share some advice with the new players that are joining the platform these days. What do you recommend them? Yeah.
I had a look on training. I'd recommend to train hard and follow the question. It's good.
Yeah.
It was a good challenge. I enjoyed it.
So do you feel happy because you almost won, or do you feel a bit sad because you didn't win at all?
Well, it's not the top spot, but I'm still very happy. It's second, so still good.
Cool. The guys are complaining that there is no audio, so not sure if actually we are talking to nobody. So no, actually the audio hopefully it's on YouTube, so hopefully they can catch up afterwards.
Hello world.
Hello world, yes. Cool. Thank you very much, Poppy. That was really good. And that means that even though they cannot hear us, I don't really know why they cannot hear us, but anyway.
Allison's on the tube, so
Maybe that's why.
he says he's on the tube.
He's on the tube.
Yes.
Right. Cool. Not on YouTube, in the actual, it's on the Jubilee line, right? So we cannot control that, I believe. Anyway, I can hear on YouTube. So Mo, we cannot hear you, unfortunately. You're on mute if you're on Hangouts. It would be a pity because otherwise. Okay, so I'm going to switch off Slack, guys. It's a bit complicated to do the session with Slack. But Mo, if you can hear us on Hangouts, because it looks like he is actually the winner, 89. Well done, Mo. Yes. Nice. It's good, right? Almost perfect. Focus, speed, accuracy, all these sort of things, right? Unfortunately. Oh. Yes, we can hear you. Is that Mo? Okay, cool. Any feedback, Mo? You want it? Hello? Mo? Do you see a light? Yes. Don't follow the light, Mo. Unless it's the light of JavaScript. Oh, that was that was as romantic as stupid. So, right. Anyway, even though there are some technical issues, right? Because we are live broadcasting. That's. Oh. Oh. Yeah, go. Yeah, go on, Mo. There is a 3 minutes delay, right? So it's going to be a bit complicated. Right. I can tell you what probably Mo is thinking. It was really good. He was very happy, you know. So hopefully we can get his thoughts offline. Cool. So that was pretty much it, guys, in regards to the results. I hope you enjoy the experience of dealing with the amazing world of React.js. On the next week, we'll keep adding more training topics. Also, hopefully at some point on intermediate, we'll start talking about state, yeah, these sort of things, yeah. So obviously we'll stay in touch and I'll let you know whenever there is any update. Apart from that, I would like to, I'll show you, I would like to show the, well, just do a quick review, right, and see how to deal with the different questions we got today. We got 4 questions about plain rendering and 1 question about props, yeah? So, question number 1. Welcome. That's the most fundamental question you can get, right? So probably the first time you see that, you may be a bit annoyed with the syntax, right? It's not function add 1, 2 equal 3 that it takes 3 seconds to grasp. This is a bit more complicated. Do you know what's that? Why are we doing these sort of things? What technologies are involved here? No? So this is Jest. Jest is the testing framework provided by React. You know that real software, the code is tested, right? To make sure that you don't break a multi-billion app, yes, because of, you know, a silly problem. So Jest is a technology provided by React, which in reality depends on other existing tools and components like Mocha, like, you know, some of them, right? Chai, all these sort of things. So in reality, the way this works is, well, we are shallowing a component. So shallow means compile the component. Yeah, but if that component has any dependency, don't compile them. Yes, it's like the most basic way of deal with React components. And then once we have a reference to the component, we can play with it, right? We can get, for instance, the text that the component is returning. We can check if the component is invoking another component. We can check the state. We can check props. You know, we can interact with it. So that technology is way more powerful than the one we've been using in React. It's also slower, as you've noticed, right? In average, it takes 1 to 1.5 seconds to evaluate the results. We'll work towards improving these figures. Anyway, the question itself is, please create a welcome component. Is that a stateful or a stateless? Stateless, correct. Please create a stateless welcome component that's simply return welcome to React. Will it work or not?
No.
Exclamation, yeah, correct. Exclamation mark. So then when we evaluated it, eventually it will give us the result. One day, yeah. It's a bit faster for you, but because I'm running a local copy of the Codere platform, it takes a bit longer. But anyway, it works, right? It works. Remember, semicolons. Don't forget, React is built on top of JavaScript. So they share lots of rules. Semicolons, yeah? Let's put a semicolon. And then let's have a look at the next question. Before that, I would like to quickly see what you did. I mean, that was pretty fundamental, right? Natasha, Daniel. Daniel got a genuine penalty here. Anyone see why? Semicolon, Daniel. Yeah. Ashley. Megan. Interesting. That's interesting, Megan. So Megan used a curly bracket expression to interpolate the string. That's correct. That's why it works. However, it's a bit complex, right? You don't need to do that. Compare Megan's with Ashley, for instance. Yeah. What else? Poppy. Same thing. Bala and Rafa. Where's the semicolon, Rafa? Yeah. Cool. Also, we got Jeff, Mo, and Dave. It didn't work for Dave, right? He made it overcomplicated. We just need to display welcome to React. Right, Dave? Cool. Question number 2. What we got here? Get welcome message in 2 paragraphs. You see, thanks to Jest and all the related technologies, we can test many things. We can test how many paragraphs our component has, right? So we're expecting again to create a welcome component with 2 paragraphs. You see, welcome find p to have length. You see that syntax. This is a standard in the industry. So it's good to start getting familiar with it. And then the first children, the text for the first children is supposed to be welcome. The text for the second children is supposed to be to React. Well, we got the structure of the welcome component partially created. So we got the first paragraph already. That means that if we evaluate it, it will probably, well, it will fail on the first assertion, right? Because the number of paragraphs is not 2, it's 1. That means that once it finishes evaluating the result, you see, it fails. Yeah? This is another update on the Codere platform. It will highlight the failing line. Yeah? And here it will tell you, even though the UX is something we need to work with, right? But it says you return 1, and the assertion was expecting you to return 2. So let's add another paragraph. Welcome to React. Yeah? Something like that. Did I miss anything, guys? Probably not, right? We got semicolons. We got everything, right? So there shouldn't be any elegance related issue. So then let's have a look if the test passes or not. All good. Yeah, all good, guys. So what you did here, 2 paragraphs for Natasha, same thing for Daniel, same thing for Ashley, Poppy, Bala. It's pretty fundamental, right? Megan, Mo, everyone did literally the same thing. Cool, that was easy. Question number 3, dealing with class names. Whoa, the first time we are working with classes. Do you remember why we use class name instead of class in React? That's correct, because class is a keyword, yeah, in React, sorry, in JavaScript. Because of that, the way to tell React this is not an actual JavaScript class, this is a style attribute, right? We call it class name. So we're expecting to create a component, stateless component, of course, basketball star, with a couple of properties on it, first name and last name, Michael Jordan, right? So we got the structure already. That was pretty easy because we just need to remember how to add class names. Class name equals first name, yeah? And then class name equals last name, I believe. Any elegance issues? Semicolon, correct. Daniel is right. Semicolon line number 7. Will this work? I think so. Does it matter if instead of divs we use labels? Maybe yes. What do you think? looking at the test. Is the test looking for divs or paragraphs? Or not really, right? Just a class name. So let's evaluate it and let's see if it works. Let's recap. We are rendering a basketball star component and we expect an element, regardless if it's a div or span or whatever, with first name class, and its text will be Michael. It's pretty much the same thing for the last name, Jordan, and it works, right? It works. So did it work for you? It didn't for Natasha, right? Why? You weren't super close, you did nothing here.
No, I just started.
Ah, okay.
But I tried so many things, different things, and I didn't try that much.
Cool. Thank you, Natasha. I hope you learn it. Daniel, class name. Oh, why it didn't work for Ashley? The quotes. The quotes. Otherwise, first name was that. Is it a JavaScript variable? What was that? What's first name, right? Quotes. Poppy. Oh, good, right? Still using double quotes, Poppy. Bala. Yeah, it's interesting. Bala is using spaces surrounding the, the DOM attributes. Yeah, but all good, right? Same for Rafa, Megan, double quotes, Mo, and Jeff. Yeah, easy. Question number 4. Oh, sorry. I didn't submit it. Cool. So question number 4. Let's have a look. That was the most complicated one. First of all, because instead of one assertion, we got 2 assertions. And then because it's the first time we deal with props, you see, we are passing props to our score details component. Here you go. Boom, lots of things, right? Lots of things. But in reality, that was pretty simple. So we're expected to create a score details component. You can see this is beginners. You already got the skeleton. That won't be the case on the intermediate and expert. You have to type everything by yourself. Because this is still for first-time players. Score details, we are passing the array of scores, and then we check a couple of things. By the way, you may have noticed that even though when talking about testing, this is not strictly necessary, I personally like, historically speaking, I've created probably thousands of tests in my life. I always like to structure the test in that way. Given, when, then. Yeah? Have you heard about that? Given, when, then. Maybe you've also heard about the AAA, arrange, act, assert. It's the same thing. It's a way to structure your test in a more human-friendly way. First of all, given, right? This is like the conditions. What do we have? We have an array of scores. When? That's the action. When we trigger that action, then we expect some consequences. Yeah? So this is a classic approach, for instance, when talking about BDD. You heard about BDD? What BDD means? Yes. So we don't really focus on behavior-driven development or business-driven development. We don't really focus on the technical aspects as much. We focus on the functionality, right? Because eventually, and this is a very romantic principle that in my opinion it never works, but the idea is that non-technical people in your team, I'm talking about Scrum Masters, business analysts, product owners, all these sort of people, they should be able to understand how the application is working by looking at the tests. Yeah, that's a very romantic thing that never works, but hey, at least, even if it doesn't work for them, at least I believe that that should work for your colleagues. Yeah? If I'm creating a validate email function, I should be able to tell you what's the behavior of the validate email function by expressing it. One of the reasons why you shouldn't need commands is the tests. You see? So score details displays details when 2 values are passed. Score details displays details when 3 values are passed. I should be able to tell you what are my intentions by writing tests. Yeah? And of course, tests also help to make sure that first of all your code looks and reacts as expected, and then it helps to prevent regression issues. So what a regression issue is, imagine that you create a validate email function, it works, you do the test, it works, all good, and after 4 months someone by mistake, maybe doing a merge in a conflict, or because of whatever reason someone breaks the validate email function. If we have a test, at least our test will alert, hey, wait, that function used to work like that before, now it's not working anymore. What's going on? Alert, yeah? So, yep. It's not working? Ah, my face. It's freezing. Okay, that's all right. I think we can live without my animated face, right? Not the end of the world. So, score details. We expected to have 3 elements, total, first, and second. We don't care, again, if they are divs or spans or labels or whatever, right? Just 3 elements. So, the first element, total, we'll let a label class name equals total. So total will display something, label. Then we got first, and finally we got second, yeah? So then, what do we want to display? For the first assertion, total, we need to display total 2. Yeah? Something like that, total 2. For the first one, we should display first what? First 54. And for the last one, second, whatever it is, right? 65. Will this work, guys? No. Why not? Correct. But will the first example work? The first test? No? Why? Let's have a look. If we evaluate the result, I hope I can tell you what will happen. Unless I did something wrong, the first test will be correct, yeah? Because we are literally returning what, yeah, you see? First one is green, however, the second one is wrong, yeah? That's why we have to dynamically change the values. How do we change 2 with the size of the array? Scores.length. Props.length. Props.scores.length. Curly brackets. Yes, remember, every time we mix HTML code, JSX code technically speaking, with variables, we need curly brackets. Yeah? And how do we display the first name? Score. What? Props.scores. Dot first.
No, this square brackets is 0.
Square brackets 0. Correct. And what happened with the second one? Props.scores 1. Yeah? All right. Any issue? Any elegance issue? Not sure about the length, right? We have relaxed a bit the max length restriction elegance issues. I think instead of 65 is 70 or even 75. I'm not 100% sure. So let's see if that works. So now, yeah, so we are first of all, let's recap. Displaying, length of the array, then the first element, and then the second element, yeah, total first and second. Now it works. It works. However, yeah, oh, not again, right? So how do we solve that? I give you two options. Option 1 is doing that, right? That will clearly solve it. Option 2 is I'm going to create a variable, scores. Yeah. So because of that variable, correct. Look. Yeah, that's it. So now, not sure if that will be enough or not, but that's a classic problem. Sometimes the variable is quite long. Props.challenge.player.score.first, very long line, right? That's why creating variables is so convenient. So let's see if now it works. And yes, all good. As you may have noticed, as I think Michael reported yesterday, now the code is a bit smaller. It's just 1 pixel. Yeah, but now you can fit 70 characters in the screen. Before it wasn't possible. So it should be a bit more user-friendly, I believe. So what you did here, let's have a look. In that particular question, oh, that's interesting. He has 2 solutions. Look, first of all, Bala. Yeah, so Bala is to avoid the elegance issues, as we explained, he's splitting, yeah, the code across several lines, which is absolutely perfect. Interesting. He's sorting the results. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, right? I don't really get that because the array is supposed to be, when you say first, an array has an index, right? So first, we refer to the first element of the array. That's interesting. And Poppy, yeah, too long. So she got a genuine penalty here. Cool. I click somewhere. Yeah. So that was question number 4. And then finally, that was a pretty slightly easier one. Premier League fixtures. So we want to display a few things. Yeah, it's a bit more complicated in terms of HTML structure. But anyway, let's try to read and understand what's going on. So we're trying to find something called fixtures. This is a class name. And then, if you notice the structure, so first we find the fixtures in plural, and then we do fixtures.findFixtures, fixture in singular. Yeah. So that means that that element should be inside of that one. Hierarchy. This is what we are testing here. Then we check that we have one element of each type, and finally we try to get some details about whatever the game was, right? So we already got the root element fixtures. So now we're expected to create a new one, div class name fixture in singular, and finally inside of it we display what we want to display: team 1, team 2, and result. Yeah. So div class name team 1. You see, again, I'm not following a chronological order. I'm first of all creating the structure, and then I'll attack the details. Team 1, team 2, and result. We go Tottenham, Southampton, and 3-1, right? So and then 3-1, something like that, maybe. Yeah, should work, right? Any elegance issue? Probably not, right? Not as far as I can see. Cool. So let's evaluate it. Team 1, team 2, result, Tottenham, Southampton, and 3-1. Oh, something is wrong. Let's have a look. So whenever something is wrong and it's telling you you didn't return anything, it's speaking it's a syntax error. Look, unterminated ESX contents. Oh, so that means that something is not quite correct. You didn't return div.
We didn't close the div actually.
That's correct. If you pay attention, line number 8, what happened here?
We closed it.
Correct. Thankfully, and that's a new thing, you may not sure if you notice, if on the JavaScript training there is a syntax error, it tells you the cross, but it doesn't tell you in which line the error is happening. Now, at least, it's telling you the line. Line number 8 is here. Without that line, it may be a bit more challenging to find where the syntax error is. Yeah. So if we close the tag and we evaluate again, then we'll see if that works. And assuming that will work, let me have a look to your solution. Right. Daniel. Same thing, right? Poppy. Same thing. It's pretty much the same thing, right? I wasn't expecting any big surprise. What was that, Rafa? You see, the main problem Rafa had is, look, he created fixtures, but then he didn't nested anything. And also there is something important here. Well, we can see that the solution was correct. Remember that in the React world, every React component needs one root element. Yeah, the thing. That's why this is not working. How many root elements Rafa has? 5, correct. It is true, however, that React recently mitigated the problem. So now a React component can return an array of HTML elements, in which case you have multiple root nodes. However, if you don't return an array, he is not returning an array, then you need a single root element. Yeah. What else? More. Yeah, I mean that was pretty much it. Yeah. So that's it from my side, guys. Anything else? No. I hope you enjoyed the very first React challenge. We'll keep working on it to make it better and faster.